few minutes. Okay. That's It's begun. So let's get to the speaker view. Okay, wonderful. So hello, everyone. And let's take a look at everybody that we've said hello to. Hi, Sana. Hi, Snehal and Himali. I think we said hellos. But hi, Cherry and Yash. Hi, Yash. How are you? So,
Hi, I'm fine.
अच्छा, you're fine जी. Wonderful. No, so funny कि वैसे तो तुम सुनते नहीं हो अभी आज एकदम से you're dropping into my
सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग है ना अभी जी
अच्छा
तो।
so social distancing. Oh, I like that. That is so funny. All right. So, hello everybody and everyone. Thank you for being here. So, चलिए शुरू करते हैं आज का सेशन. So the topic for today being the need to fit in, the need that we have to fit in to some place, and how should we look at that need from the energy space. So ever since we are born, the we are born into a unit called family. And then everybody's always making an effort to fit into that unit that we call family. We want to be close to each other, brother, sister, mother, father. And if in any way that is not happening, then there is a lot of breaking of expectations. Lekin hamesha this need to fit in begins right from day one. We are born into that space. As we grow a little older, then we find कि हम स्कूल जाते हैं तो स्कूल में भी now without even knowing that we are so young, and yet without even knowing we want to fit in. We make a friend circle of two or three, and we now want to fit in over there. We want to fit in with other class people. We want to fit into different spaces. We want to be liked by the teacher. We want to fit into the class itself. थोड़े और बड़े होके now the expansions happen in the criteria where we want to fit in. We want to fit in certain people with social status. We want to fit in with them. हर जगह we are trying to make ourselves feel a little bit more worthy, a little bit more, capable of being around with people, being around with people. And we then want to think, why is it that this need is there? This need actually is coming from a place of, it's a primordial need. उसका मतलब क्या कि नीड जो है वो शुरू से हम में है. जब से हमने शुरू किया कहाँ से है? क्योंकि जब हम सोचें कि पहले जब हम व्हेन वी आर इन द ह्यूमन फॉर्म, और जब हम सिर्फ शिकार करते थे वगैरह वगैरह, तो कभी तो हम शिकार करते थे और कभी हम खुद शिकार हो जाते थे. सो इफ यू स्टेड टुगेदर, if you belonged to a group, you had a better chance for survival. So it was literally that you wanted to survive, and that is where the need is built in, that we think that it is important for us to survive, that we group together. And so we group ourselves in so many different ways. We group ourselves according to class, according to country, according to religion. We just keep wanting to belong to groups and groups. And the more we are part of these groups, the more secure we feel. We feel secure, and that is what is कि हम जब हंट करने के लिए जाते थे तो सिक्योरिटी के लिए साथ रहना जरूरी था. That need is where it is built in, that when we are together we feel more secure. So this need, when we talk about many of the wants and needs, Even when we talk energetically, I keep telling you, it's just a need, isko release kar do. It's just a need, isko release kar do. That goes on for needs which are brought around by so-called social conditioning, which means कि आपका experience है. When I say social conditioning, and in the next minute, I also say there is nothing called society. So how can there be a need which is arriving out of social conditioning? Well, we are in the society. We chose to have experiences of the society. Society is going to condemn us. Society is going to say good things about us. Society is going to find us worthy. Society is going to find us unworthy, are all the ways that we measure ourselves. Those are the needs I say you release. Release wherever you wish to measure yourself through somebody else's eyes, through the eyes of a particular group, whatever the need is, through the eyes of your parents that no, my child is so successful. Well, release that need to be successful, to be worthy in somebody's eyes, because that is where you are measuring your own self worth, your self love. And that need we can release as we release our judgments towards ourselves a little bit more, a little bit more. उन सब नीड्स को निकालने के लिए क्या करना है? सिर्फ सिर्फ खुद को देखना है, सिर्फ खुद को देखना है. एंड वेयर ऑल दीज एक्सटर्नल मेजर्स ऑफ आवर ओन सेल्फ वी हैव क्रिएटेड, उसको देखना है और रिलीज कर देना है. लेकिन there are some needs. I point you towards them, but I don't ask you to release them. For example, and we've talked about this before also, the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. There was a fellow called Maslow, and he looked at all kinds of needs. कि हमारी क्या क्या needs होती हैं, and at the bottom of it are the basic needs. खाना, पानी, shelter. These are the basic needs that we have. So the need arises for us to eat 3 times in a day, to drink water or whatever it is that we wish to drink. That need arises a few times in a day. I don't ask you to release it, but I do ask you to look into it. अगर तुम मस्ती के लिए खा रहे हो, बहुत बढ़िया. और अगर तुमने उसके अंदर ये बढ़िया है, ये पॉइजन है मेरी बॉडी के लिए, वगैरह वगैरह घुसाना शुरू कर दिया, तो फिर now we are talking about the need which has now become fear based. It was a need that just to experience earth, क्योंकि the basic needs are what we will need in the body. We come with those needs. ऑल ऑफ अस हैव दोज नीड्स. हाँ, ऐसा होता है कि कई बार मणि मुझे बोल देते हैं कि अच्छा अब इस नीड को भी जाने दो, तो हम खाना पीना छोड़ देते हैं. लेकिन जब वो बोलते हैं तो हम छोड़ देते हैं. उसके अलावा आई कंटिन्यू टू लिव विद द नीड. आई कंटिन्यू टू ईट 3 times in a day, बट आई एम द सेम पर्सन हु यूज टू ईट फ्रॉम फियर. I am the person who used to eat, अरे ये तो खा लिया, this is so bad for me. Now I need to diet for 4 days because this is so bad for me. Now I need to do this. Now I need to control my food. Now I need to control that. This need to control is out of measuring yourself or out of fear. So then, when these kind of needs are playing out, I don't tell you to release the need. It is almost not possible till the time we are in the body form. And I simply tell you to observe where this need is coming from. It took me almost 3.5 years to let go of my क्या कहते हैं parameters of food, of what I thought about food, what was good, what was not, because all of my eating, large part of my eating came from fear. फिर मणि ने हमें दिखलाना शुरू किया कि अरे इसके अंदर भी फियर, उसके अंदर भी फियर. व्हाट आर यू डूइंग? यस, you are going to keep a certain shape of your body and everything, but what in your energies are you growing? In your energies, you're constantly growing fear. And then fear manifests. In so many different ways, fear manifests not necessarily through food, but you have grown the bucket of fear, the fear will manifest. So instead of eating with fear and drinking with fear, now the same eating happens, but without fear. Without fear. And how much ever is needed by the body stays with the body shape, the body, it'll come each time to remind me. And then I simply have to observe within that what is a certain body shape or the thought of a body shape that I used to be, the thought of the body shape that I am now, what emotions is it creating in me? So that need, I do not ask you to release, I simply ask you to look underneath. This particular need, the need to fit in, belongs to the same category. Well, just a little bit above the basic 5 needs that Maslow has put out, he has then put out another need for security, the need for feeling, belonged to. So I belong someplace, I am looked after. That feeling that I am not alone. Because earlier, when we were out there hunting, if you were alone, you were more likely to be a prey to some animal. And so that need to belong was not just ki haan, it feels good, it was almost existential. For you to exist, you needed to belong. That need is what has expanded into I need to belong to a neighborhood, I need to belong to a country, I need to belong to a religion, I need to belong. So today, when we look at this particular need, see this need to belong. Because if you don't belong, let us say you didn't belong to any place, how lonely would you feel? So, what are we afraid of? We are afraid of being alone. We are afraid now of being alone, of being left out. People will do things without us. We are afraid that the fear of missing out. FOMO. We have FOMO, and so we continue with this need. Even when we come to MPFY, so many people will belong to MPFY, and then as soon as you belong to something, you want to limit yourself. This is where I'm going to talk about today. Whether you belong to a group of 5 people, these are your closest friends, and now you want to limit yourself to just these 5 people. Not only that, you want to also limit entry of people into your circle of 5 friends. And this is where you now start to play out more and more from judgments. Judgments, your judgments of where you belong. And this has to be a tiny little clique, it has to be a very tiny group. And these are the only people you feel comfortable with. And now you do not feel comfortable with other people coming into that group or you expanding your group. What is this? This is you now putting limitations on yourself. The tinier the group that you want to belong to, the more people you cut out, who are you judging? We come back to the same story. There is no one but you. And so, even as you belong to one group, so many people come to me and they come from other groups of gurus. And now they're like, oh my God, that guru didn't do this and this guru didn't do that. Now I no longer resonate with that group. And you leave that group and then you come to this new group. Many people say, is this a cult that you are running? And I say, absolutely, this is a cult that I'm running. However, if you are feeling something about the word cult, I already point out to you that you were born in a cult. That family, that word family, is a different word. But the concept is just simply that of a cult. What is a cult? Well, a group of people who are supposed to hang out together, they think together, they play out together, they be together, they are directed by one person or another. That's a cult. Well, totally sounds like family. So, again, to break your judgment, about words where you start to define yourself in and out of a space. Most of the people who are calling something a cult are the ones who are afraid of being part of a cult. So if I started to call family a cult, they would then be afraid to be part of a family or a friend circle as well. However, to be able to look within to see what am I operating from, you will mostly now, where you start to separate yourselves into small groups, you will now find yourself as judging. That is what is happening to you. The judgments are what are now limiting your expansion of the self. Yes, your expansion of the self. When you put out one group and only start to resonate with this group, I say, look within. What part of you that belonged there are you not accepting now? You will move forward, but it is not by rejection of a place, but by expansion of your heart. Can you belong there and here also? It is so beautiful. It was shown to me. Earlier, I used to be a banker. I used to have a very limited set of understanding as to the kind of people that I would want to be friends with. The kind of people that I would want to hang out with would be similar as me. And only these people, only people with similar professions or with a certain IQ, or the ones who speak my way, the ones who can speak in English, the ones who can speak in, the ones who are fluent in this and that, those are the people that I can be friends with. They belong to my small group of people I can associate with. I also had many minor groups and buckets in my head. For example, anybody who was a miser could not be part of my group. The people who were open hearted and who didn't have, tight fingers around their money, only those people could be part of my group. And so we create groups, and then if we find somebody who is already in that kind of a group, we want to fit in. Both of those places where we operate from limitedness, because this is all simply about judgment. Then, when the energy work started to happen to me, I was thrown into a whole set of people that I would have never said hello to had I not understood the energy part. And so my circle began to expand and began to expand. And then I found that there is really no separation when you come from a place of love. Place of love not for people outside, but place of love for the self. To be able to accept every person as being a part of myself. The part of myself that I do not resonate with is still a part of myself. And I simply have to accept it. I don't have to make efforts to like everyone. That's not needed. In the body, I will like and dislike. That is the body experience, that you cannot go around just simply liking everyone. You will have likes and dislikes, but to be okay with those likes and dislikes and to be able to see yourself as beyond them, then you don't hold so tightly to this need to wanting to fit in, because now your circle is expanded. You fit in. You fit into different places. You don't need to make an effort. So many times, just to make an effort to fit in, we lie. We want to impress that other, and we lie. We are lying to them only simply because we think that they will like us more if we seem to be more like them. They will like us more. And now, all of us who are sitting over here already know that the only way that they will like us more is when we like ourselves more. The only place of dislike, the only place of looking at those likes is at ourselves. What part of us do we not like, and what part of us is showing up through them? Then do we have to like everything? No. We already know that this is the part, and we are able to give love to that part of ourselves. And then we will actually find that they no longer trigger us. They sometimes even move away. Why? Because it was only their role to show us our limitation. Our limitation. So when you look at any part of you that wants to hang around in small bits and pieces, you want to impress people that need to fit in. Either when people are trying to fit in with you, take a look. You will be able to see when somebody is making an extra effort to fit in. And then look at all the places where you make that extra effort to fit in, and release. Release the judgment for the self. Only the judgments in these places where you want to fit in, because all of these places now are no longer required for us to feel secure. I am complete. That place where we sit now as the creator, as the energy space, does not need an outside security. We wanted to be secure. That need belonged to a lower base, the primordial base. It belonged there because we had to be secure. We wanted to make ourselves safe and secure. But today we can look at that and let go of some of those places where we are holding on so tightly. This is my family. When people come to me and say, oh, I mean, this person was talking just like MPFY. Yeah, because MPFY is not just these, thousand groups of people who've done the Expect Miracles program, or the people who follow me, or the people who follow money. No, MPFY is not that. MPFY is the universe. Do you have to like every part of the universe? No. Do you have to make efforts to go out and be friends with the whole universe? No. But you have to look within as to what parts of you are not liking, and then what parts of you are trying to fit in so much with a much smaller subset. A much smaller subset. As we do so, these walls that we have created around friendships, around family, around relationships, these walls will begin to break. And as they break, that is the expansion of your limited self into a little bit more of limitlessness. A little bit more. So the next time when you're in a new place, it could be at work, it could be at it could be at home, you shift your neighborhoods, now you're trying to fit in to a new set of people. Take a look, from which space are you trying to fit in? Are you fearful that you will lose out on friendships? Well, be friends with yourself, and you will find friendships. Friendships now don't need to complete you. Friendships now don't need to be there for your support, because you are the one that is friends with yourself. It is so beautiful. I'm reminded of this very, very old story. When this journey of mine had just started, and I was sitting in, and I had already resigned from my job, and I was sitting and writing messages for myself. And as I was writing these messages, this fear came to me, this fear that this path, nobody knows, nobody understands. And I'm going to lose out on all my friends, because none of my friends understand what is happening to me, what I am going through. And I was sitting in this fear one day, and I was, sitting with my register. And suddenly I was like, nobody is going to talk to me. I'm going to feel so alone. Can you see? I was acting from that place of fear of being alone. And those were the initial days of starting out. And I said, I'm going to be so alone. Nobody's going to talk to me. Nobody's going to understand me. Nobody is going to want to be with me. And Shiva speaks to me in my ear and he says, I will speak to you. And I was so funny because I said, yeah, I know you're already doing that. But all my friends, they are not going to talk to me. I don't want just you to be speaking to me. I want all my friends to be speaking to me. And now, when I look back, that is just such a hilarious place to come from. But I can laugh at it today. But for all of us, that feeling that we might be alone, that nobody will understand us, that nobody will be with us, that is what makes us want to fit in by hook or by crook, making all these efforts. Or we meet a new group of people and now you're like, oh my god, this is my circle of friends. I found a new circle of friends. I need to be around here. I need to be with them. What can I do to be with them a little bit more? I can shift my schedules. I can shift my place of residence. I can do this just to fit in a little bit more. Look at how you are limiting yourself. Because when you are fitting with yourself right here, you can be sitting by yourself in your own companionship and not feeling alone. You will find the set of people, but it'll be an amazing feeling to be with them. And it'll be an amazing feeling to be sitting by yourself too. In both of those places, you will be alone, and in both of those places, you will be together. In all of those spaces, you will feel complete. When this happens, it is amazing. When that happens, a party of 100 I hang out with, it's beautiful. I enjoy that space so much. I love being there with each of us and everyone having so much fun, so much masti. And then I love being completely by myself and not having anyone around and just simply sitting by myself, feeling complete in whatever it is that I am doing. And so, this need to fit in, when it is no longer there, when it has been shed, when it has been looked into. How will you even shed it? Just by looking into, from what space am I wanting to belong? From what space am I limiting my set of mirrors? Everybody a mirror, but why are you limiting your set of mirrors? Expand, expand. And when you are able to do this, when you're able to do this expansion to yourself, you will find yourself belonging with ease at every place. There will be a few places where you might say that you do not belong or that place is rejecting you. Take a look at that rejection. When an outside place rejects you and does not want you to belong over there, when an outside place is doing that to you, the work is simply the same again. To be able to look at yourself as, who all are you rejecting at so many different places, and to be able to allow them a little bit more inwards, to be able to accept them a little bit more inwards. Who all are you rejecting that they are showing you as the mirror? So it's so beautiful because, again, when I was that banker, and then truly the bankers didn't understand me. So I had to sit by myself. And then other people that resonated more with me, they found me. They found me. I didn't go anywhere to find them, and they found me. And then one day it was so beautiful that I almost felt that I didn't belong to that place of bankers anymore. I didn't belong there. And then Mani said to me, when you don't accept them, you are simply rejecting an entire part of your own story. You're rejecting your entire story that has played up to now. So why don't you belong over there? Where is the rejection? It is the acceptance that, yes, I am this and I am that. And where we tend to sit in, oh, I was that, and now I'm no longer that. And then that place will come up to show us a rejection in a few different ways. So, acceptance of all that we are, acceptance of all where we have been through, and acceptance of where we sit today, because tomorrow this might not be the place. We might be sitting at another place tomorrow again. So, acceptance of everything with the self within the self. And then you will be able to fit in, because this time you are not fitting in from a need. You're simply fitting in with the flow. That's where we are. Any questions so far? I haven't looked at the. Can you talk about extrovert and introvert in this context? How wonderful. Beautiful question. So, an extrovert is somebody typically in energy terms, yeah, is somebody who takes energy from the outside. Yeah, they want to be outside, they want to be with friends, they want to be surrounded by people. That's what makes them happy. And those are what we term as extroverts in energy terms, taking in, soaking in the energy from the outside. And that's what builds them. Introverts are the ones who prefer to be with themselves, taking their energy from within. When we are unaware, when we are unaware, we again put ourselves into this bucket, into this bucket. I'm an extrovert. I take my energies from the outside. Then what will I do? Go around rejecting introverts. Yeah, I will not be at ease with them because they are not my type. They are not the ones that I can resonate with. They are different. What have we done? We have rejected that part of us which knows how to sit within. And then we constantly seek only company outside. We are extroverts. Sitting within makes us very uncomfortable. So fun that that would be me. I was a complete extrovert. All my growing up life and all my energy was all with friends and people and different groups of people, but from the outside. Extrovert in energy terms, simply being able to grow their experiences of joy and masti from the outside. More, more from the outside. Yes, introverts, the ones who are seeking that peace, that energy within. In the unaware terms, what do we tend to do? Reject the extroverts. Oh my God, they're constantly partying. What's wrong with them? Why can't they just sit quietly and be with themselves? Why can't they just, be quiet for a few minutes? How loud they are, etc., etc. What are we doing? We are rejecting our extroverted part, the one that wants to be in masti, the one that wants to be loud. We are judging, and now we begin to reject that part of ourselves that is comfortable taking energy from the outside. We are not comfortable taking energy from the outside. We are simply comfortable being with our own selves. In unawareness, both places involve rejection. When we begin to understand who we are rejecting, it is just a part of ourselves. Tomorrow, do we really have to go around, if we are simply an introvert, do we have to push ourselves to be an extrovert? As I said, this is not about liking and disliking and changing yourselves to like everything. Cannot happen. It cannot happen. You are in the body form. You will sit at one place or another. In the body form, it's either heads or tails. It's very rarely that the coin stands in the middle as both heads and tails. But when you have accepted the extrovert or the introvert part of yourselves, you can be both. At least you will not be running away. You will be in acceptance, and therefore you will fit in into that set of people as well, as much as you will fit into the old your kind of people. You will be able to be at peace because peace is more within over here, having dropped your judgments towards this side or that side. So the need to fit in into the extroverted circle, that need is to be looked into. That need is coming from some sort of judgment for yourself as well as from fear. If I don't fit in, then XYZ be the consequences. So look into those fears, look into your own conditioning, look at your rejections, the ones that you are rejecting, the ones where you are getting rejected from, and work inwards at your emotions, the ones that I just laid out. Does that make sense, Max?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
wonderful, lovely. Any other questions that you might have? Anybody else wants to share their experiences or talk about expansion and not expansion? It's funny because just today in the morning, as we were preparing in the morning for me, afternoon times for you, but just as I was getting ready to look at all the arrangements for some of the trips that I make, I noticed, or rather, Mani brought it to my notice that there are all of these people who come to your trips, and yet, tiny little group that they want to stay a part of. They do not wish to expand. They are still sitting in so much judgments of the self, of another. And so, as my job is always to crack the whip, to be around with the danda, so the danda went out saying, make it bigger, make the circle wider. Who is it going to impact? Who is it going to bring more joy to? To you. You think that you're the happiest in a certain small, tiny segment of people, but that's only because you haven't explored. You haven't gone out and explored the vastness of your own heart. The vastness that brings you so much joy within, that you will be able to then be so much more in joy, no matter who is around. And then, no matter who is not around. So, just simply the vastness of the heart to be tapped into as you go expand, expand, expand your heart. Yeah, the need to fit into. So fun. Even in spiritual circles, as you say, this need to be called more aware, more fitted in with the higher category of people who are more aware, more looking inwards. And then people are out there trying to take spiritual practices to a competitive level. It's so funny. I'm reminded of these cute sisters who, when they joined my program, it was hilarious because they were doing the assignments and then they would be discussing with each other as to how many pages did you release? How many pages worth of emotions did you release? See, now there was a tiny little group. And when somebody said, oh, only half a page, people would be like, but we did 3 pages of releases. Can you see how quickly we put ourselves into groups and how quickly then we hold ourselves onto as a superior place that, oh, I know more than you, I am more than you. And from that space, when you are feeling so superior, what will the universe in its polarity show to you every now and then? Your inferiority. So, neither superior, not belonging to a group. Can you stay aware? Can you stay aware? It's only that we will always belong. It is not that tomorrow I can give up my nationality and say, I am no longer an Indian or I no longer belong to any place. It's not possible. We are there, but are we tied in to that concept? Are we tied into that religion? Are we tied into that caste? Are we tied into that class? Are we tied into that social status? That is where you got to look. Anybody else wants to speak, share, ask? All good? Okay. Yes, somebody says, I observed that I now reject my extrovert self, which was such an expressed part of me for the longest time. How beautiful you answered this bit. It is my judgment for the small talk that I find draining. I need to look at. Yeah. So, what if it is draining? Let yourself be drained. That's okay to be drained. And then to re fill up yourself with energy of masti. If you are drained with masti, oh my God, all of these trips that I make with 100 people around, do you think that my physical body is not drained? No, I'm drained to the core. In the last few hours, sometimes last couple of days, I don't know how money makes me stand with everyone and dance and be around because physically I am totally drained. However, there is no drainage of energy, of masti within, and that is what carries you through. That the masti is within. But when you begin to think that the masti outside or meeting with a certain kind of people outside is lessening, is draining your masti within, that's simply your judgment. If the masti is within, it will stay. It, and if it doesn't stay right there in the minute, it'll come back. The minute you're able to observe it, it will be back. And sometimes we can go on for days without observation, and that's okay. It is our experience of our unaware self that we are going through. So it is okay. But now we sit in that space where we can ask ourselves, what am I feeling? Am I coming from a limitless space or am I coming from a limited space? Am I feeling comfortable meeting with this expanded group? Or am I just like, oh, I only need to be with my 3 people? What space am I coming from? Wonderful. Okay, then. Just a very short meditation, just because we haven't done for a long while. Take a deep breath in. Deep, deep breath in. Expanding, expanding your chest. Expanding with double the amount of air that you normally take in. Just expanding. And with this expansion of the chest, feeling, just feeling as if the heart is expanding too. The heart is expanding. And with this expansion of the heart, bring in 5 people, just any 5 names that you wish to be a part of circle with, that you wish to be a part of the circle with. Some 5 names will come to you. Oh, I met that person. I wish I was a part of their group. Oh, I wish I could be more with these set of people. So simply coming up with 5 names where you wish to be a part of some circle. And as you expand your heart in the energies, simply integrating with them. I am that. And as you say, I am that, take a name of the person that you wish to be with, knowing that they simply are a mirror of the part of you that you love, the part that you love. And so allowing yourself in the energies to integrate to those people, the ones you wish to be a part of groups with. Allowing yourself to experience your life, this moment, as them. Thinking of what it would feel like when you belong to that group brings a smile to your face. Wonderful. This smile in the now is about you belonging to your loved parts. Be in this space. Bring that smile to yourself. In the energies, in oneness, belonging in this moment. Take another deep breath in. Keep the smile on. And another breath in. And this time, I take energy from Meenal. Feeling the expansion of your heart a little bit more as you take energy from Meenal. I take energy from Meenal. I am Meenal. And feeling the expansion this time of your heart in the areas that you otherwise wouldn't have looked at. So look at a few people around you that you have no wish to be a part of circle of. You haven't thought of them as your circle. Maybe the helps that come to your place, maybe your neighbors, maybe some groups that you have met and looked at and rejected. As you think of them, take another deep breath. I am Meenal. I am Meenal. And now, as you look at those sets of people that you haven't thought about or you have rejected, now take a look, and this time, I am that. Taking their name and being one with them as well. Allowing yourself to experience the oneness with them, the ones that you have rejected, or maybe the ones who have rejected you. Experiencing this moment of now and being able to feel this moment as them. Allowing yourself to experience this moment as them. They are a part of your limited self that you have not come to terms with. They are that mirror of yours that you don't like to look into. And right now, looking into that mirror and smiling. And as you smile, this smile belongs to you. Accepting both these parts of you. Take a deep breath in and integrate with you. Both are me. I am all. I am the universe. Oh, money, oh, money, oh, money. Okay, everyone. Lots and lots of love. Thank you all for being here. Everybody, thank you so much. Lots
Thank
of
you, Ma. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Mom.
Mom.
Thank you.